Hi everyone, welcome back to my vlog. I'm Robin, or A Hobbit's Reading List, and this week is the first readathon for my new Tolkien Readathon. We are going to finish up my August TBR and then move on to the readathon vlog. So sorry, I have this bounce on the cat tree, and the cat apparently didn't like me talking, so he left and made it very shaky. Anyway, so as has been the case the past couple weeks, I have finished a book. I tend not to film on Mondays and like start the vlog until I've done some reading, and it just so happens that I finished a book. Oh, I need to rate it. I finished a book. I tend not to start the vlogs until I've done some reading, so I can just like immediately talk about it. And I finished Psmith in the City. You know, I read a little bit for about an hour this morning, and then I went ahead and just finished it this afternoon, especially so that I can just go ahead and move on. One, because I hate Psmith with passion, and two, because the next book that I need to read is for my class. So I need to just be able to get to the class readings and just get those done. So yeah, that's sort of what is going on. I hate Psmith as a character, so it's really hard for me to like any book that he's in, especially where he's like essentially the main character. I guess technically like Mike is also a main character, but I know that's going to change in like the next book. I know it's going to be mostly Psmith, and I'm going to hate it because Psmith is just, he's so pompous and pretentious and manipulative, and so don't like Psmith, don't really like his book. I gave it a 2.5, which for me is pretty low because my average rating is like a 3.8, if not a 4. Like, I tend to rate books around a 4, so for me to give a book a 2.5 is actually like pretty bad. But there's too much Psmith, too much. And I know that the next Psmith book, is it the next, or maybe the one after that? I know eventually we'll read Psmith in a Blanding's Castle book, and I really liked the first Blanding's Castle that I read. And so I don't know how Psmith being at Blanding's Castle is going to make me feel. Probably very conflicted. So yeah, not necessarily looking forward to that. But now that I'm done, I can read The Grey Album by, I believe his first name is Kevin, but I know the last name is Young. And it's a collection of essays and poems, I believe, on blackness, on the experience of being black. And there's something about, I'm trying to remember from the blurb of like the necessity of lying or something like that. It was really interesting. So it is the first book that I have to read for my ethnic and racial identities class. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to the fact that it's almost 500 pages. Not looking forward to that. And the fact that like, I think I have to have it done by next Tuesday. So this professor like isn't messing around. Like, we have like 8 books to read this semester, and some of them are decent, you know, like 200 pages, but this first one is like 500. And he made a comment in class on Thursday. He's like, yeah, so we'll start with Young, you know, and it'll be, you know, some easy reading. And he had the syllabus pulled up where it literally says like The Grey Album, pages 1 to 184. And I'm like, that's easy? He's like, well, maybe it's a little ambitious. I was like, yeah, maybe. So that's what's going on as far as reading is going. And now that I can start the Grey Album. I'm officially starting my Tolkien Readathon a couple days early, but I need to have nearly 200 pages read by the 31st. So, it's my readathon. I get a head start. That's not true if other people want to read ahead. Like, I don't care. I'm happy people are doing it. That's really all I care about. As for tonight, I think I still have to do homework. I have an assignment due tomorrow at about 9:30 a.m. because it has to be turned in by the time you have class. So I need to finish the readings for that and write that up. But it shouldn't be hard. The assignment for the readings, which is also for my racial and ethnic identities class, is essentially just like writing notes and reflections and quotes that stuck out on the assigned reading. So it's not like super hard. It's not like I'm writing like a 5-page essay or anything. But yeah, so that's what I need to do for pretty much the rest of the night, and I'll check in with you guys later. I'm so tired. And I know why, but I was gonna say, like, I fell asleep on the couch at like 11 last night. I went to bed around midnight, and I literally just woke up, and it's like 8. So I woke up at like 7:30. I feel like I should feel more rested, but I don't. For reading, I'm about 35% of the way through Two Towers. They're about to go to Helm's Deep. So, I will say the chapter with the Rohirrim was a little boring. Which I kind of feel bad about because I actually really like the Rohirrim. But it was just, I don't know, they just went on and on talking, and maybe I wasn't in the right mindset yesterday for a lot of like speeches. So, because I like Rohan. I like the Rohirrim. I think they're great, and they just love horses, and I can respect that. But yeah, I just wasn't in the mood for long speeches yesterday, so I was sort of like zoning out a little bit, and I had like bring myself back. So I'll listen to another about 2 hours today on my way to work. So at the rate I'm going, I think I'll finish Two Towers in another like week and a half, which is actually good and sort of what I was anticipating, because that should be enough time for me to listen to Return of the King by the end of September for the readathon. So it's all working out the way I planned. Except this wasn't like my plan in August. My plan in August was legitimately thinking that I could read or listen to all 3. That was dumb. I don't know why I thought that. There aren't that many hours in the month that I drive. But I'm like, oh yeah, no, I can do that. No. Other than that, I did start reading Grey Album last night. I was reading like in my breaks at work, and then I actually ended up getting like a pretty long break about 7 o'clock, and I ate. So by the time I picked up the book again, it was like 7:30, and I was just getting so overstimulated. Like, there was music and there were loud people. That was the main thing that was like, I couldn't focus at all because I was just overstimulated. I ended up having to like just stop reading completely, put my headphones in, and blare like my music so that I could just like calm down enough to like finish work. Because I'm just like, there's too much. So I didn't actually end up reading during my hour-long break, which I was really disappointed about. But I have a lighter day at work today, so hopefully I can get what I'm supposed to get done. Because I have to get to page 184 by tomorrow morning. Which, if it was a fiction book, I wouldn't be worried at all. That's just how it is. yeah, so I don't have a lot to say about Grey Album yet. You know, it's a collection of essays on blackness, on the experience of being black, and the importance of storying or lying in that experience to sort of cope with the systematic racism. So it's really interesting. I'm actually like really intrigued, and I am going to pick it up again today, obviously, because I have to. But even if I didn't have to, I would still pick it up again, because I'm so fascinated by this theory that I had no idea about. So I want to learn more. So that's what's going on. I'm gonna make myself breakfast, and then try to get some stuff done. So. We are stressed. I read about 100 pages of the Grey Album yesterday. I believe you will have seen clips of me a clip of me sitting in the sun. The sun patch that I ended up in, I proceeded to follow for the next hour because it was too cold in the shade. So I was just moving around the deck as the sunbeam changed. My colleague thought it was really funny, but it was just too cold in the shade. But I had about 100 pages read. I was like 50 pages short of the requirement to have read by this morning, but I still had enough to like do the assignment. I am enjoying Grey Album. I'm learning a lot. And so it's really cool. And it's just about how masking or storying or lying, whatever you want to call it, that Black people have had to do and still have to do in order to survive or be treated as, if not human, as, you know, more than slaves even still. So it's really, really interesting, and I'm learning a ton. So I'm glad I'm reading it, but it's still nonfiction, and I'm very much ready to be done with it. I'm hoping to have it finished by the end of the week, because that way I can pick up a different book for class. But I can just, you know, feel like I'm making more progress. So there's that. Listen to another 2 hours of Two Towers. Every time I say that, I keep rhyming. Oh, they're at Isengard. They're going to talk to Saruman next. So we're almost done with the non-Frodo and Sam part of Two Towers, which makes sense because I'm almost halfway. And so once I'm halfway, it's going to transition to only Frodo and Sam for the back half of the novel, which will be interesting to hear, just because like it's been so long since I've read these books, and Andy Serkis is still doing a great job. I love how he voices Treebeard. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I might not drive to work tomorrow though, because I might be able to work from home, and so that's the only part that like kind of sucks, but it's okay. Other than that, I'm just stressed. So I did my reading that was due this morning. Now I had to switch over, read for my online class, which has an assignment due tonight at like midnight, and it's end of the month, so I have to do some like end of the month work stuff, also due tonight at like midnight. So pretty much my writing date with my friend Ellis is pretty much just gonna be them writing, but me being like, yeah, I gotta do work stuff or I gotta do a homework assignment. Like, those are the things that I'm writing. I'm not writing fiction. which I miss. Be great if I could write fiction. More than just like little like blurbs of role play that I can do like maybe a couple times a week. Yeah. I just feel a little stressed, feel like I'm like letting other people down in the like creative realm, whether it's like my role play partners or the people who read my fanfic or YouTubers, because I need to still film my September TBR and edit and post that. Ideally, I like to have that go up on the 1st. I don't know if that's gonna happen. It depends how much I get done and what time I get stuff done. Because if I'm not done with stuff until like 9 o'clock at night, I'm not gonna film. I'm not gonna film a TBR. Although, if I end up working from home tomorrow, that could really help me out with my to-do list. So, here's hoping I can work from home. But I'm going to do my homework, and I will check in with you guys when I read something next. I don't think you can actually tell like how red my hair is. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I guess I could turn on the light, but I'm feeling lazy. Today's been sort of like an anxious day, and I don't know why, because nothing really happened and work wasn't that hard. Honestly, I know why. I had 2 grande macchiatos this morning, and I think I'm crashing. And like a half Diet Coke. I usually don't have quite that much caffeine in one day. At least usually not that much coffee. So yeah, I think I'm crashing, and it's making me feel anxious. Yay! So I'm not ending the vlog here. I'm doing the same thing I did last week, and I'm doing a little update, and then I will update you again later tonight when I go to bed. I worked from home Friday, so I didn't drive, which means I didn't listen to Two Towers. So I listened to it today. So I'm about, am I at 65%, I think? No, 56%. I was like, that doesn't sound right. Most of the fellowship has reunited at Isengard, and I think we have one more chapter with them before it switches over to Frodo and Sam. So I'm really enjoying having the gang all together before they get separated again. But yeah, same thing I've been saying the whole time. I'm really enjoying Andy Serkis, really enjoying getting to be in Middle Earth again. And yeah, I having a good time with that. Otherwise, I have read about 210 pages of The Great Album by Kevin Young, and I have to have it done by Tuesday. I'm not gonna have it done tonight. It's taking me so long. It's taking me so long. I figured out it takes me about 4 minutes to read 2 pages. It takes me 4 minutes to turn the page. I know that because I have filmed various clips of me reading this book, and I pretty much stopped filming like a paragraph after I turn a page, and it's usually like 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes. So it's taking me a while, way longer than it normally would. I still think it's interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of the chapter I'm reading right now, just because I love music. I love jazz and blues, which is primarily what this chapter is talking about. Blues was mostly last chapter. Now it's talking about jazz and bebop. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, pretty sure. Anywho, I love those type. I love jazz and all subsections of it. Well, most subsections of it. However, reading about music is interesting and not holding my attention. I can't tell you why. It just isn't. It's not as interesting to me as some of the other chapters that I have read. But I think I have like 15 more pages of this chapter, and then it will move on, hopefully, maybe. So I'm gonna try to do that now. I don't know how much I'm gonna read tonight, but I'm gonna try to read a decent chunk. My plan is, because Siri told me to read, my plan is to finish a chapter I'm on, which I think I have like 15 pages, and then read another chapter, and then I'll ask Siri if I need to do something else. Although that might take me the rest of the night, so we'll see. But that's my plan. Let's see how I do. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the vlog. I have not read that much, quite honestly. I have only read about, oh, sorry. I had to save the book from falling. I've only read about 25 pages, and I'm done. I'm very tired. I'm just gonna go to bed, and it's like 8:30. So yeah, we'll have to finish it tomorrow. And I'm gonna start tomorrow's vlog with hopefully finishing the book, as has been my trend for the past month. So thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment, like the video, subscribe, click notification bell, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.